Hey, good evening, fam. Good evening. Hope all is well with everybody. Hope all is well. Listen, happy Sunday to you guys. Happy Sunday. I just quickly met with a gentleman who was referred to me. Had some coffee real quick. Went over some of the questions that the gentleman had. Right. So, before I head back to the crib, I want to take a moment to have a conversation with you guys because still till today. I don't, a lot of people still don't understand how these life insurance policies work, right? So I met with the gentleman, kind of went over that. But what I want to talk about with you guys today is this. The market right now is currently bending everybody, okay? Everybody right now is having a rough time right now, right? Everything's expensive, everything's going up. You know, people are losing their jobs left and right. And it's the lesson that I want us to learn from this, myself included. Because as human beings, especially living in America, most of us have a short-term memory, right? We don't remember this happened before in 2002. We don't remember this happened in 2008, right? And now we're going through it again. And let me tell you, it's going to happen again. These type of things happen every 8 years in America on the average, okay? You can almost expect it, right? And we just seem to not remember. And once we seem to get over the hump, we go back to our same routine and same habit, which is buy, 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 and spend. You know, the people who are not having issues right now are the people who have a year worth of income in the bank. Okay. I'm willing to bet if you look at if you had to look at the portfolio, and I hope I don't offend anybody by saying this, right? But most of the people who are protesting what's going on in the administration, most of the people who are protesting, you know, at the White House and things like that, right, are people that the market is affecting dramatically, right? And which makes sense because they're hurting, right? And I'm willing to bet that the people who are out there protesting are people that have financial struggles. I can't imagine a person who's financially sound out there protesting because they don't have a worry in the world. If you've lived below your means, I'm gonna give an example. A person who's making $100,000 a year and they bought a house for $250K, they're driving a Toyota Camry instead of them buying a house for $500K, and they're driving I don't know, some fancy car, right? Mercedes, Porsche, you know, Beamer. They're living below their means. They're traveling. They're buying all the, you know, luxury bags, luxury apparels, all those things, right? They're living above their means. Okay? They'll be out there protesting because what's going on in the market, the correction of the market, is going to affect the people who overstretch themselves. But the person who live below their means is the one who is not going to be affected. They're affected on the social level in reference to what's going on with people, but financially, they're okay. You know, I personally know people who have over a year worth of expenses in the bank. I know people who have 2 years worth of their income in the bank account, not investment, not and when I look at how they're able to do it, these are people who are driving around cars that's no more than 15,000, or maybe they bought it cash and it's paid off. These are people who are living in houses that most people would think is beneath them, but they're smart because yes, I make $100,000 a year, but if my mortgage is only $1,500, I'm living good. So these are people who are living below their means. Then you have other people who live to the maximum of their income. I make $100,000 a year, I'm going to spend $100,000 a year. You have those people, and those are the ones who are probably affected with everything that's going on right now. So what I want us to learn from this situation, which again happens every 8 years, and we don't seem to learn from it, because I'm willing to bet once the economy bounce back, people are going to go right back to what they were doing. People are going to go right back to what they were doing, back to the spending. America is this massive machine, this massive marketing machine, right? That every day you turn on the TV, there's something that they have for you to buy. Every day you turn the TV on, there is something. As a matter of fact, when you get on your laptop or your phone, because these algorithms know your habits, they know the things that you like, they will place those things, those advertisements, to entice you to come buy. It's sickening. And most Americans don't have the discipline to say no. So what I want us to learn from what's going on is, I want us to get to a point where we become, after this whole thing blows over, where we become a country of savers. Save first, everything second. Because if you guys know, like I know, if you guys are getting the information that I'm getting, this is just the beginning. There's going to be a group of people doing retirement. So I'm going to give you an example. If you're 45 years old right now, 45, 46, 47, 50, all right, these group of people are going to be retiring in the next 15 to 20 years. Over 30% of those people are going to be destitute. These are the facts. This is not made up. Over 30% of those people are going to be destitute because they can't save. They refuse to save. You understand? They rather buy. Give me a second, guys. Sorry about that. I'm trying to adjust my camera for you guys for a second. They rather buy, and buy some more. Even though you educate them, even though you give them information. Yesterday, I spoke with a young lady who her sister referred me to. Her sister's a client of mine. Her sister have a different head on her shoulder. Her sister is pumping out $380 a month in an IUL. Her sister also, I believe she said she does $250 every 2 weeks from her paycheck into her 401k. Her sister also have an IRA. She's a different person. Now, she said, hey, my sister has no plan at all. My sister also have children, and she don't know when my sister don't have any life insurance. Can you please talk to her? I said, no problem. Let's get her on the phone. I got the sister on the phone, and I went over some numbers. She said, oh, it sounds good, but yeah, let me think about it, I'll let you know. So this is a person who has no life insurance, 4 children, who has no savings at all, 43-year-old and you want to think about it. I don't know what I don't know what it is that you're thinking about. I do not know what it is that you're thinking about. At this stage, when you literally have nothing, let me tell you something. If you're 40-something years old, if you're 40 plus, and you have no retirement income, you should be in, what's the word I want to use? And I hate to use this word, but this is where you need to, you should be in desperate mode right now. Some kind of panic should be going, anxiety should be going on inside of you right now. Because literally, if you're 40, I know 20 years seems like a long time. Okay? 20 years seems like a long time, but it's really not. And then if you have $0 saved for retirement, you're gonna need every bit of that 20 years. Every day you're putting money away. Every month you're putting money away because you're so far behind. You should have been saving since you was 25 at least. So if you're 40, then you're already 15 years behind. Let me give you guys some information that you may not know. Right now, they say to comfortably retire in America, you need at least $1.5 million. That's how much you need, comfortably. Depends on where in America. If you live in Maryland, Massachusetts, New York, California, where else? Hawaii. We talking about at least $2 million to live comfortably, which means I can pay my bills every month. I can pay for my meds. I can pay for my health insurance, because that's one thing you guys don't factor in. Our average person is going to spend about $189,000 in healthcare costs during their retirement. $189,000 is how much an average person is going to spend in retirement for their healthcare costs. And this is not even factoring a massive health situation that may happen to you. This is just basic healthcare costs. Going to the doctor, medicine, things like that. And you're 40 and you have no retirement income. So when I ask myself a question, how can a person get to 50 or 60 and don't have any retirement income? Some people comment and say, oh, you know, life happens to people. That's a fact. Life will happen to people, but that's a small percentage. Most people, I think it boils down to lack of discipline. They've never developed a habit of saving. They have a habit of spending. And I believe that is what happened to a lot of people, to be honest with you. Even as I was reading that article, it made me feel a certain way. Like I can feel the anxiety and the pressure, right? For these people. You can't help but to. It's a scary stat. It's a scary stat. And as a matter of fact, another stat that's even scarier is, and I believe this is from the National Retirement Institute, I believe, is they say that there's a high likelihood there's an 80% chance that women will be financially bankrupt 5 years after retirement. Or 80% likelihood that women will be financially bankrupt in retirement. 80% of women. Well, what's the reason for that? One, lack of savings. Two, not enough savings. You guys are not putting pressure on your retirement account. You're not putting enough pressure on your retirement account. You should be maxing out your retirement account, especially if you are 40 plus and you don't have any retirement savings. I don't know. At that point, I have to consider the likelihood that you've told yourself, okay, you've made it okay within yourself that you're going to work forever. The average 401k balance right now in America is 170 something thousand. The average 401k right now in America is 170 something $1,000. Nobody is retiring off of that. The average amount that you're going to get from Social Security is about $1,800. Nobody, I don't know what state that you can go to that you can retire off of that. Most people are going to have mortgages until they die. I don't know how you can retire off of those numbers. Even if you're mortgage free, you still have taxes every year. Some places, some counties, I believe over here in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, I believe the tax a year is about $10,000, I believe. I'm not quite sure. So let's say your mortgage is paid off. You still got to come out with $800 something a month for your taxes. But the average 401k balance is $171,000. 20% of the people between the age of 50 and 66 have zero retirement savings. 30% of the people who will be retiring in the next 15, 20 years are going to be financially destitute. These are the numbers. I know today is Sunday. Today should be a happy day. Today is God's day. And I feel as though, as a child of God, and I have information, it is my duty and my obligation to try to help and save my brothers and sisters. It won't be right of me as a child of God to not give you information that I know, because based on this information that I know is the reason why I made adjustment in my life. The adjustments I've made in my life have made me so uncomfortable because the lifestyle that I'm accustomed to, I had to shut it down. The lifestyle that I'm accustomed to, I had to shut it down for me not to fall into that 30% bracket. Okay? So that's 30% of the people that will be financially destitute. Then we talk about another 60+% that's going to be living in retirement very uncomfortably because they'll be barely getting by because they don't have enough saved. You understand? So for me to know this, and not make changes in my life, that would be crazy. You know, some people get information and keep it to themselves. As I'm getting these articles, these datas, I'm taking my phone every single day and relaying the information to you guys. Each one, teach one. Each one, teach one. So, I don't want to hold this up too much longer, but I want us to learn something from what's going on right now and to do better once we get out of it. Okay? I think most of us need to go back to being couples again. Most of us need to go back to being married again and doing things together with the group effort. That's just my take on it. Because things are not going down, things are going up. And income is not going up. It's actually going backwards. So, you know, the baby boomers, most of them were married. That's why they own everything right now. Most of the baby boomers were married. I want you to think about that for a second. And they own majority of the wealth right now in America. All of us out here trying to do the single life. There's a price to pay for the single life. People are not gonna like this conversation. People are not going to like this conversation. You hear me? But listen, man, to each his own. At the end of the day, if you want to remain single, then you got to develop a massive savings discipline, learn how to say no. Okay? Learn how to be very, very, very close friends with your bank account, with your investment accounts. You guys, you two should be in love with each other. Every day you wake up, right? Every day you wake up, you should be able to, you should open up your bank account. You should open up your retirement account, whoever's with. You should open up your IUL and look at your statement. You understand? Because this is what's gonna help you in the near future. You got to monitor it. You got to be in love with it. You understand? A lot of you guys run away from the thing that is best for you. We're sitting here and we're blowing. You know, I was talking to one of my agents yesterday, and we was talking about why the numbers are what they are. And she replied back to me, oh, people just don't know. In 2025, I cannot say I agree with that 100%. I'll give it maybe 2%. You know what? I'll give it 20% of the people may not know. But we live in 2025, the information age. And you want me to believe that people don't know that retirement is important? Most people have jobs or had jobs. And when you have those things, you have enrollment period almost every year. Enrollment for your health care, enrollment to enroll into the 401k or 403b, whatever the job offers. Every single year, most jobs have those things. Most people choose not to go out to HR and get it started because they don't want that money coming out of their account. They want all their money because they want to be able to do the things that they want to do. Saving long term is a discipline thing, and it's not an overnight thing. And most people don't want to do it because the results doesn't happen overnight. It takes a minute. It takes a long while. Okay? It's actually one of those things where you put the money in and literally somebody has to be dying for you to go in and access it. That's one of those type of accounts. It ain't your bank account. It ain't your CD, whatever. Your retirement account, your long-term saving is one of those things where somebody have to literally be dying. Like your mama, your daddy, your kids. Somebody who's close to you have to literally need some form of surgery that's life and death for you to go in there and access it. That's the only way. But most people are not willing to put that kind of money away and let it do what it do and don't touch it. I know a client called me a few years ago. I did a policy with her. She threw in 100K. 5-6 years later, that 100K became like 165, 175, something like that. Out of nowhere, she wanted to go to Africa with 5 of her girlfriends, and she felt the need that she had to pay for everybody because everybody didn't have the money. Right? Now, when I did her policy, her daughter was there with me. Okay? So I said, okay, cool. It's your account, whatever you want to do, but I don't suggest it. And I hung up with her. I immediately called her daughter and said, hey, give your mom a call because I think she's about to do something that I don't know, don't make sense. And I personally felt like, you know, these people were trying to take advantage of her because they knew she had the money. But either way, she took 50 G's out and they all went to Ghana, I believe. Right? Some people see the money in their account and they feel as though it's playtime. A lot of people are not disciplined enough to let money sit there and grow to $1 million, grow to $2 million. Not too many people in America are disciplined enough to allow that to happen for them. So I'm going to close this out with this. We want to get to a point where when hard time comes, it's just an inconvenience. Because you got the money for whatever comes down the pike. Tire blows out, boom, got the money. Engine goes out, boom, got the money. You understand? Somebody falls sick, can't work, boom, I have a year or two worth of income. Okay? You want to get to a point where what's going on right now should be life lessons. Period. Life lessons. You shouldn't just allow it to happen and you forget about it, because if you don't remember it, you're going to end up doing the same thing. I'm also I'm following the same path as I'm speaking to you guys right now. Right? Because as we speak, I own 3 vehicles that I'm financing. I'm doing a lot of revamping on a bunch of my credit cards, trying to get rates lower. You know, trying to figure out how I could pay these cars off sooner than later. You understand? You know why? Because when things were good, I'm like, oh, that's a new S580. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Let me go get that. I'm confessing to you guys right now. I'm confessing to you guys right now. This is life in America. But I'm telling you right now, moving forward, it's a new Maxwell. I don't think I'll be buying any cars after this for a long while. I'm going to ride them suckers to the ground. Okay? I rarely keep a car for 4 years. After 3 or 4 years, new model come out, and I somehow feel the need to go buy another one. Never doing that again. Not doing that again. Okay? I've gone to a point where, how you doing? You too. I've gone to a point where I've shut down the spending on the traveling side, the spending on the exotic restaurants. Okay, the luxury hotels. I've gone to a point where I've shut those down, which is now allowing me to be able to put away 30% in my deferred comp plan, allow me to increase my IUL just a little bit, right? But it is a very uncomfortable lifestyle. It's not something that's not doable. It's just something that I'm not accustomed to. But I know a few more months of this, it will become normal. You know what I'm saying? We feel like we need to go out all the time. We feel like we need to travel all the time. We feel like we need to go to these restaurants and spend our hard-earned money all the time. You don't need that. You just want it. You just want it. And most of the time, you want it because other people are doing it. Period. Okay? As we're getting all this information right now that China is releasing about all these exotic bags that most of you are buying, that you guys are paying thousands of dollars for, and it costs them $50 to make, $100 to make. And all they do is just latch on some tag and say made in Italy or wherever, and you guys are paying thousands of dollars for it. Why? Because you saw somebody else with it and you felt the need to have it because somebody else have it. That's how we move in America, and that's how they get you. That's how they keep you on that hamster wheel. This is the season to jump off the hamster wheel. This is the season to not care how anybody else is moving, to not care what anybody else got on, to not care what anybody else is driving, to not care where anybody else is living. Okay? This is the season moving forward. So listen, I hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed rest of your day. Happy Sunday again. And I hope you guys, listen, if you stuck with me this far, right? And you got value from what I'm speaking on today, please, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. But more importantly, please help me share the word, spread the word. Okay, share this with people so they can be engaged with you. You guys should start a group thing or savings group. Set a target goal for each person. Okay? And for next, so we're now in April. Set a goal for this time next April. When you working together as a group, you can probably accomplish your goal better. Because when you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of y'all, and you guys are committed to saving money, and then looking at your results the following year, you start to see results happen. It's a bunch of different ways that you guys can work together on this. So please share this video with people. And then also, give me your thumbs up. Comment. Let me know what you think. All right? Outside of that, guys, listen. Hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed Sunday. And I will talk to you soon.